Welcome to AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Indigenous Rounds continues for round 10. A time to honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players and officials who have enriched our game for generations. And today it's Crocs versus Saints. We're out at Norbuilt Oval for the blockbuster, which is a grand final replay. The Saints chasing redemption, Southern District stride in with premiership confidence, but know that Saints rarely stay down for long. Expect a bruising contest, big moments and a crowd that remembers every second from last year. It's a rivalry built on respect but fuelled on recent history. My name is Paul Maher. Today I am joined by Lockie Humphrey. What's your thought process today, Lockie?
Yeah, g'day Paul, how you going? Should be a very interesting clash of footy. Obviously Southern District's coming off a loss last week, their first of the season to Nightcliff. So they'll be hoping to get back on the winners board, and for St Mary's, they want to start to really get on a bit of a roll. They've been pretty quiet, 3-3, 6 on the ladder, so Valagio's man will hoping to get back on the winners list and get their season off to a good start as we roll sooner and sooner to the Christmas break. What about you, Paul? What is your tip today out here at Fred's Pass?
Well, I saw Nightcliff virtually demolitions. Southern District's demolition by Nightcliff last week. They just broke them down player by player, piece by piece on the big TIO stadium away from Nightcliff, where they usually make the ground a lot smaller, and they were able to play down those narrow wings. But they did it at TIO and shut Districts down completely. No forward was able to kick goals for Districts. The Dennis and Wyatt Ryan combination was nullified, and their on-board brigade was hardly seen. The only standout for the day, I think, was Quentin Narkle, who was virtually running at 100% efficiently, but had very few friends out there helping him. So you never know with Saints. They change week in, week out. The loss of Jackson Calder is going to be massive for them. They're going to find another forward. So
yeah, it will be massive. Jackson Calder going down with a knee injury. Saints haven't played a game in 21 days. That changes here at Fred's Pass. Matt Johnston with hands first on the footy. Handball didn't go far. West into the side, getting the handball out, not cleanly. Free kick will be paid for in the back, so the Saints will get the first clearance of the day. Connor West looking to roll through now. The former West Coast player can put him inside 50 for the first time. Trying to find Walters out the back, bounced off hands, still in there. Yaron, handball over the top. Braunthal, a chance running back. Hot inside 50 for the Saints, but just to behind the first score here inside the first 30 seconds.
He looked very dangerous then, Nick Yaron.
Coming out off hands. Nobody's able to take it cleanly. You're right, Nick Yaron back into the side as well. Adding a bit of zip, plenty of changes for this St Mary's side. You'd feel like this is their chance to really stamp their authority on the competition in season 25-26. This ball's going to go down the line. Should be picked off by Connor Giddings, rocking the pink boots this week. We'll go inside now to Ross, and they'll switch the play, the Crocs. Disappointing, you could say, last week against Nightcliff. You do have to lose eventually, but it was the fashion that Rusker's men went down. They'll look to overturn that in front of their home crowd today. This ball dribbles out towards Robinson. He goes back and handballs it up. Now getting out there was Ratcliffe. His handball missed the target and will dribble out of bounds. A minute and a half gone in this first quarter.
It was nearly 365 days to the day, actually, since their last loss. So massive in that win-loss program for Districts, because they were so commanding last year. But yeah, they've lost one before Christmas, so and then they're up against the runners-up from last year in back-to-back games.
Reid doing the ruck work for the Saints today. The big fellow with the beard, as we're going to see another stoppage. It's Liam Reid from Jabiru last year. Few games on Essendon's VFL list, so he'll try to take on Wyatt Ryan in the middle of the ground. This ball bounces up now to Valagio, can run inside 50, go for home. Valagio won't make the trip. Johnston there, goalkeeping. Picks it off just in time, but good signs early for the Saints. This kicks out wide to Owaya. He's got the handball on wide, and they can run and carry down the line now to Anderson. He'll mark out on the chest now. Handball will go over to Burgess, who can continue to run and put it inside 50. Targets will have to fly, and it was all Saints there. Willie Robinson was one of them, and he can clean up and hit Ratcliffe on the chest. It's been a wet sort of day up here in Darwin. The rain's gone away for now, but it will be somewhat slippery. Ball dribbling out. Handball came off hands. Vallejo wanted the handball. He'll get it eventually from Bornthal. Now trying to kick down the line, was smothered, and another stoppage right in front here of the commentary box.
Yeah, a lot of rain last night at Palmerston during the Wanderers Buffs game. It sort of came down from about half-time onwards. And we've had constant showers all day today, especially out here at Fred's Pass.
Yeah, we were pretty happy to be behind the glass last night, Paul. It was probably the best place to watch the footy. It was coming in sideways at Kazali's Arena. Not quite those conditions today, as we see Taron Thomas get his first touch of the day. He tries to go inside 50, just over the head of Schwartz, who's still got an opportunity, bouncing towards the pocket. Boundary line should beat all comers, and another stoppage.
Could be a stop-start game today, you'd think, with the slippery conditions. Although Districts look pretty good there. They lost that drive last week. They just didn't have open space to run into. We'll see how St Mary's plays. They said they haven't played a game in 21 days with the abandoned round and a bye.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they come out fast or they've missed a beat. Away, handball came out. That one you'd think would be a free kick. It is. It's a holding the ball footy. So the Saints are the beneficiary through a good tackle there coming from Kyle Williamson. He's going to take off and look to switch the play. Goes long with the kick over the head of Anderson. Was just able to find the target, and Smithson held on by the fingertips. The umpire not going to pay 50 on that occasion. Anderson not backing down. Kick goes out wide now. Davies. Got Smithson back inside, but he'll take his time now. The build-up will come. White Ryan's just sitting down the line, so the kick will have to miss him. And there is the man, White Ryan.
Good call, gone straight to him. That was poor. Then they should have moved that ball a lot quicker than Davies. He had a couple of options inside.
Ryan, not the best kick, was hoping someone could get there for a handball. Eventually, he had to kick in the Thomas direction. Lands there with a quick handball to West. Line ball, still looking for plays. West came hard, wasn't able to stick the tackle. Lant got the turnover and kicks in the Vallejo direction. Who can take the mark now? He'll look to go quick. You'd hope he can. He can kick inside 50. It's a beautiful leg. And the Saints will get the first set shot of the day through a beautiful Vallejo kick inside 50.
He's good by feet, isn't he, X? He's got that pedigree. He's obviously with Chopper and his uncle. Played a lot of Darwin footy, and X has spent a lot of time in a couple of different systems, VFL programs over the last couple of years during the winter months.
Yeah, you're right. Paul, was a beautiful kick. Was able to find the chest of Luke Patterson, who's playing his 7th game of the season, looking for goal number 13. Kick 7 against Tiwi in round 4. We'll be hoping to get off to the fast start today. That kick is poor. It's going to fall short. Still a chance there. Grant over the head. Bang, goal.
Well, beautiful play, Dominic Grant. That's the perfect place to be, front and centre. He was just waited for the ball to come down, and 2 Districts players went up, and there was nobody down waiting for that, and he virtually stood there by himself for what seemed to be an eternity, but he was quickly onto that left boot, and that's a great goal for Saints.
Yeah, the Patterson kick was off the side of the boot. It was a shank, and Grant in the right spot at the right time. Ever the opportunist kicked it over his head and draws first blood here for the Saints at Fred's Pass. He's
going to play a big role, I think, now is Patterson, because with the loss of Calder, that they need that key forward, and there is some height down there, but nothing of the magnitude as to what Calder can do. He's a 50-plus goal kicker probably for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. Interesting how that Saints forward line will operate now that Calder's not the key staple down there. But Patterson is the man. He's able to kick a bag. Kick wasn't right, but nevertheless a goal for the Saints as they try to come out of the middle of the ground. The hack kick's going to go forward, dribbling in the direction of Ross, who was able to pick it up cleanly and then just decides to kick it as high and long and dares somebody to try to sit under it. And Thomas was the man who could.
Well, it was a perfect hack kick out of there for a leaping forward like Thomas. Although the pressure was on, Saints had turned the ball back over again. They came inside when they probably should have gone outside. Opened the ball up for Jonathan Ross, and he's usually a better kick than that. He's put it up in the air. And Taron Thomas, out of all the big timber, Taron Thomas was the one that took a bit of airspace out of that. He's taken a big mark. Very quiet last week in his first game in NTFL. and that one's missed to the far side.
Yeah, you're right. Somewhat disappointing in his NTFL debut last week. Always tough to get a grip of the conditions, and obviously hasn't played football for a while, but he'll be hoping to make up for that. Set shot was just offline. Dennis intercept mark on the kick in. That was a poor kick, so another chance to reload. Dennis played on, so he's just going to have to kick it long in the Thomas direction again. Can he sit under it? Spoil came, still an opportunity. Schwartz, the umpire's found a free kick. The advantage is paid, and Bowie Schwartz gets goal number 1 for the Crocs.
Well, a good set-up kick. Put it to the top of the square then. Matty Dennis, after a little bit of dancing. Bo Schwartz was at the bottom of the pack. Not sure what the free kick was for. It was probably a holding free kick. Saints doing a little bit of panicking down there with the tall timber. Just like Dominic Grant did at the other end of the ground, Lockie, Bo Schwartz has done that for Crocs.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. Another ball coming off hands and able to find the crumbers at ground level. Bowie Schwartz, he's made a career out of doing that. His 11th goal of the season for the Crocs and first of the day. So I'll be happy to get on the board.
Probably what you expect from a small forward, but anyway.
He was pretty happy with himself there to snap that one around the corner, back in the middle of the ground. Hit out came down. Johnston and West wrestling on. The umpire will call it a draw and we'll get another ball up. Back in the middle, Reid. It's being subbed out for Walters, who's doing the ruck work currently for the Saints. Going in hard was Barry, who was tackled by Jack Lant. Walters picks up the footy, but a high tackle will be paid and will go the way of the Saints. So looks like Connor West, who's got his hands on it early here. First game of the season, gives it to Robinson. Can get him going forward. Again, trying to find the chest of a teammate. Grant in the right spot. Will snap from a long way out. This would be the perfect start if he can get it to the goal line. Just drop short, another chance. They're waiting for play. Smithson, if he's able to go cleanly, he is. Rolls around on the left and just misses.
Geez, they've certainly got some height, Saints. There, I think that matchup, Darren Walters against Ryan, is going to be a beauty. I think he's just taken the mark there in front of the big fella now. So he looks a good, solid matchup for Ryan.
West, clever, puts it inside 50, looking for another mark out the back. And this time it's big Liam Reid.
And the boy from Jabiru. Very similar conditions. Fred's past to Jabiru. We're not all that far away, actually, are we?
No, the big road trip out of Fred's Pass has seen Liam Reid take a strong contested mark, and in his second game of the season, you're right, Paul, so much height now in that Saints side. Team that is known for not usually having a big ruckman. They've got a few in today.
Well, Will Robinson has played that hybrid role probably for the last 2 years, as that's a goal to Reid. So Saints go on to 2-2-14. Southern Districts 1-1-7, and we've gone about 10 and a half, nearly just short of 11 minutes. First quarter here at Fred's Pass.
Big Liam Reid, you're right. Willie Robinson has played that hybrid role, being able to go forward and almost plays a second midfielder at times, a fourth midfielder, should I say, and he's usually undersized, especially against the likes of Wyatt Ryan, but the big boys are in today. Darren Walters and Liam Reid are getting going early. It was Reid who kicked the first, and it'll be Walters in the ruck now. So an interesting matchup to be had. Ryan will have his work cut out. He's got his mate in Matty Dennis to give him the chop when he needs. Well,
they haven't had a great deal of challenge across the board, realistically, over probably the last 2 years that they've been 2 seasons that they've been together. This year they're facing that. Against Nightcliff last week, they were really nullified, and this week we could be seeing the same.
Rusker out of the middle in the direction there of Farah, wasn't able to pick up the mark. Robinson's the man we were talking about, was able to get a clever little tap on it, so the kick will go back to the middle of the ground. West, who's brought his own footy early, is able to continue on. The free kick will be paid in there. Ryan was pushed under it, so Crocs will get the footy back.
He's been good, West, so far, hasn't he? As you said, bought his own footy. That's a good idea on a wet day.
Ryan coming out is Anderson on the chest. It's a beautiful mark from Jed Anderson, the champ. Starting well, and he'd love to put this one through. It'd be a tough kick if he was.
Well, he's walking backwards. He's not really interested, by the looks of it, in anybody that's going to make any sort of lead. And by the looks of it, there's nobody down that end in their forward line that's even contemplating making the lead. So they missed some structure last week. Anderson was off target a couple of times in the first quarter when they kicked 1-6, and they sort of lost that game at pretty much with their inaccuracy. So hopefully they've been doing some goal kicking practice during the week.
Anderson's been held up by St Mary's player that was down. He was really sore. It was Kai Williamson who was down for a little bit of time. He's back to his feet but still hobbling around. Either way, Jed Anderson will come in now. Tough kick. It won't be beyond the champ, but it was across the face of goal. Still in play again, but eventually we get it behind and it is back to a 6-point margin.
Haven't had a great deal of forward opportunities. I think that's only the second or third time that's been down there. It's going to be a bit of a war of attrition, this one. Saints know how to play this game, this contested game, and they will continuously hang on to it unless they make mistakes like that.
They do. Awaya over the top now. Chance going out to Shannon. He's got another chance. Narkle. Awaya can roll on the right. Gets on the left. He'll go for goals now. He'll put it through, and no, he can't. I thought that was going through for all money, but Awaya just misses another opportunity.
He was lining up for point of the year, that one.
Had the dancing boots on, but just wasn't able to make the finish. And on a day where opportunities might be limited, you'd hope that those ones can go through. This ball's out towards the big men, hoping for someone to come down with it. Dewsbury will win a free kick in there for a high. Got Jack Land on short, sporting the number 8 today. Go with a high kick now. Giddings will be the man that will come under it with the spoil. Wasn't able to. Vallejo will try to get it forward. Still going in there was Burgess. Grant dives on top of his man, and eventually we're going to get a free kick. Umpire giving Grant the beneficiary. Now back to Jack Land. Got West on. Decides to go with the left. Up and under ball in the direction of Reed. How will this one sit? If it can get out the back there, an opportunity. Still bouncing forward. Johnson's got to slap it out. Tries to get out of danger. Might be for a second, but he's clean with the pick up and eventually got it way out of danger and out in front of the running Hawago Oa, who's got to bounce and dribble, and it's too hot for him to handle, so the Wiz cleans up. Parnell, handball. Gets it to a dangerous position. They try to sweep out wide. They do end up getting it to Williamson, whose kick was smothered. Into the middle of the ground. Anderson makes his presence felt. So does Awaya, and the umpire should take it and throw it up. He does.
So stoppage in front of the handstand here at Fred's Pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it's named after, Paul, but I remember calling that a few weeks ago and had a few people message me and wonder if I was making a joke. I wasn't. It is called the handstand over there.
Well, you don't usually see it from the opposite side of the ground where we're standing on, when you're sitting underneath or on the terrace, as they're looking quite full there today.
Narkle into Ross, who just dropped the mark and put himself under a fair bit of pressure. Johnson had to just throw the head under and hope that something could come out of it. The umpires are watching intently, but you'd think that they're tempted to blow the whistle. They let it go, and eventually they'll get it back. So Johnston lucky to not give away the free.
Umpires today, Tim Somerville, Liam Dyer and Thomas Manning are the centrals.
They will have their hands full in what you think should be a really contested style of footy, both teams. Obviously the grand final rematch from last year. Ball bounces out towards Narkle now. He tries to go forward. Kick came off ground from Braunthal. He goes back to try to get it. He'd want the boundary line and gets it eventually, but the ball is in the territory of the Crocs.
So it's a tussle here at Fred's Pass. The ball's just going from stoppage to stoppage. St Mary's making the most of their opportunities with that mosquito fleet of the Lant brothers and West so far.
Dennis went back to get it. Handballed out. Found Winder, whose kick was smothered, so still pressure on. Vallejo will look to bring the heat. They do eventually. Braunthal with another tackle, and that one's the one that sticks. Great tackle from Jackson Braunthal in a good position for St Mary's.
There was 3 or 4 tackles made there, so they had to... they were odds on to get that one. He's fierce, Braunthal, isn't he?
He was. It was a great tackle. The kick wasn't as good. Still heat on. Pressure for Johnson, who didn't want anything to do with it. Slammed it on the boot. Anderson with a big fly. Wasn't able to bring it down. He delivered a big hit as well there. Looks to be Smithson, who bounces back to his feet. Kick came out there from Barnard. Few St Mary's to raffle it off. Nobody bought a ticket, so Thomas went and got it. Handballed it over the top to Farah, who tried to deal the fend off onto Ratcliffe. Wasn't good enough, and he'll win the free. There, Caden Ratcliffe.
They've been very strong, their defence, St Mary's defence, hasn't it? They're virtually impeccable, as we can see them spreading here now, although this could be 50-50 ball here in the middle.
Yaron, free kick will be paid. He'll win it eventually, Nick Yaron. It was a tough call for the umpire to make, but he can get the ball moving forward. It's a 50 for a descent. Jack Lamp wanted to play on and take the advantage, but a sensible thing to do would be take the territory, and Nick Yaron will get an opportunity inside 50.
Well, you don't need that. That was a 50-50 free kick. Is that there was a one-on-one. Yaron went to ground first, was the recipient of the free kick. And this is the thing with districts last week. Apparently, when things got a little bit rocky, the noise started, and we don't want that noise starting too early today.
Nick Yaron rolls in, and the kick is straight and nice and a goal, and it's out to 11 points here at Fred's Pass.
Well, that's just, the consistency of districts have got to be better than that in their the way that they act and what they do, and the conversation with the umpires, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, has to be cut out because they're not taking any flack this year. They're handing away penalties, 50-metre penalties, for any sort of disrespects or dissent in relation to the processes that are going on the ground. So if you're out there and doing it, you're wasting your time. It's just going to cost you a goal. Yeah,
we saw a lot last night in the Darwin Buffaloes and Wanderers games. Ended up costing the Buffs probably 3 or 4 goals, which was the margin in the end. So the umpires are hot on the whistle. Ryan out to Anderson with a picture-perfect tap as the kick's a high one, looking for plenty of flies. Ratcliffe gave away the free. Barry would take the advantage, so he has to play on and get it back away. Ends up getting to it and will just arch the back and kick it inside 50. Thomas will let it bounce. Got Barry on short, who went to pick it up. Not cleanly, though. Still in the pocket for Dylan Barry. We've seen him kick plenty of goals from here, but this time he's going to have to settle for a stoppage.
It's a good save there from St Mary's. Thomas should have probably should have picked that ball up. But as you stated, he hasn't played a lot of footy over the last probably 18 months. So this is his first foray back into it. And on a slippery day, it's probably not going to be easy.
Back into play. Dennis will look to try to tap it smartly out to Shannon out the back. This kicked forward away from the Crocs goal. Going out there was Clark. Wasn't able to pick it up cleanly. Farah as well. Slippery ball pursued by Land, who just held on to him. How the umpire see this one? Another throw up.
It's fast paced too, Lockie, isn't it? The ball's moving from one end to the other quite quickly. Very muggy conditions out here at Fred's Pass. We want to watch the fuel tickets.
Absolutely. This one goes inside now. Thomas coming at the footy was the first one there. Wasn't able to bring it down. Robinson over to Parnell, put him under pressure. Soccer forward now. Opportunity. They've got to be calm in defence here, St Mary's, and they are. A clever pick up and the kick across goal. If they can get it cleanly. They've got numbers on this far side, St Mary's. They do. Handball over the top. Smithson, can he hold on to it? He does. Now another little flick and go. They go through Kent. He's got a man up the line. Ends up hitting him in Loire. So Loire will go back and stop momentum, but nice finds a target. Vallejo wasn't able to bring it down at the crucial moment. Narkle made him pay out to Owea, who will always look to play on. And that's a beautiful kick to Farah. And just like that, the Crocs are back into attack. This one's over the top. A fine bid made. He'll look to go deep and long and have someone come at him like Schwartz, but there was a good spoil there coming from Andrew Green, and we'll get yet another stoppage in Crocs territory, 20 and a half gone.
Kai Race Lower, St Mary's Junior, has been around the program for 4 or 5 years, coming up through the 16s and 18s, so it's good to see some local talent into the Saints team. They've always been pretty good with that.
They have, the Saints. So we see a free kick be paid in here, and by the reactions of players, it will be going the way of big Matty Dennis. Robinson couldn't believe it. It might have been Reid in the ruck, sorry. And now Matt Dennis will be able to go back and try to put through the Croc second of the day. Gave the handball off to Farah, though. Farah will back himself more than Dennis will, running into goal, but Farah misses again, and another opportunity goes begging. That one was a gimme.
Well, very similar to last week is that they were missing set shots and fairly easy open goals. 1 goal 4 they've kicked so far. We've just gone 22.5 minutes. We're probably not far away from the quarter-time break. And that opportunities of having 5 shots a goal each see Saints with a 10-point buffer.
Green goes inside. Dangerous kick, asking a lot. Lamp will be up to the challenge as he goes out wide. Got a few Saints raffling that one off. Smithson eventually gets it. Yeah, 9 goals 14 last week for the Crocs against Nightcliff. You turn that around and it would be a win in their favour. So they'll be hoping to get back on the goal scorers list. They won't have time in this first quarter as the siren sounds here at Fred's Pass. The Crocs 1 goal 4-10. Trailing the Saints 3-2. Your goal scorers, it was Yaron, Grant and Reed for the Saints, and just a single goal scorer is Bo Schwartz for the Crocs. Who did you like from both teams in that first quarter, Paul?
Oh, well, Connor West had, as you stated, like he had a lot of the footy early on. The Lant boys have been busy in the middle because the conditions are suiting them. But I like Walters in the ruck against the Dennis and Ryan combination, and Reed up forward is also giving them an option. So, but they're defending quite well though. But Districts, their errants around goals. Huego Owe has been really, really good for them. He's probably been the standout. Quentin Narkle's always pretty good. Every time he touches the ball, he does something with it across half-back. And I think that Jonathan Ross has had a little bit of footy around the middle too. Bo Schwartz with that front and centre goal was good too. You are watching AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live here on NT News and Community TV. It's quarter time here at Fred's Pass. Saints with a 10-point buffer. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in the stream. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
we're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top End Footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Round 10 fixture here at Fred's Pass. Grand final rematch, Southern Districts versus St Mary's. We've got St Mary's up by 10 points at quarter time here, and this Indigenous round continues in round 10, a time to honour the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players and officials who have shaped and enriched our game for generations. Lockie Humphrey, 10 points to Saints. How have you seen this?
An interesting matchup. It's fair to say the Saints have just made the most of their opportunities. We've got it in. You'd probably think the Crocs have had more inside 50s, but haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard, as you can see by the behinds that are down there, as we see Ryan get a high contact free.
It's a clash of the Titans in there at the moment with Reid and Ryan. Something out of Gunsmoke.
He's a big character, Wyatt Ryan. Let's see what he can do with the footy here. Yeah, put the pressure on. Got it out in the Thomas direction, who was smart with his body, but the hands weren't there. Johnston's got to go back and get it. Lamp was on the scene, but gave it to his brother Dylan, who can unlock a bit of run now, going forward with the left boot. Goes down the line. Johnston's in the one-on-one contest. Went past all comers. Braunthal's got time if he can pick it up cleanly. Burgess will offer the pressure. Braunthal picked it up, got the handball out, tried to keep it in, but eventually the boundary line beats him. And we had another throw in the Saints forward 50 for the first time in this second quarter.
Well, they got that entry fairly quickly then, so they're back online even after that free kick went the way of Southern Districts. So Saints looking good so far.
Back in a play. Ball came down. It was a good hit out, but Ryan was quick to tackle the midfielder, and we'll get another forward 50 stoppage for St Mary's. All back up in the ruck. Luke Patterson doing the ruck duties for the Saints inside their forward 50. Jack Land, an opportunist. Shot on goal. Was always going to fall short, and Geordie Johnston was able to mark it. Umpire would have been close to paying a 50 metre, but Johnston will just take the mark. He'll look to go long. Out wide to a one-on-one contest. Wyatt Ryan was the man who was held onto, so he wins another free kick. Ross had the ball dribbling out, but ball will come back to Wyatt Ryan, so he'll get his second free kick of the second quarter.
I'll tell you what would be interesting to see is big Braden Crosley for Pint versus the big gunslinger.
It would. A lot of big additions into this NTFL competition, and Braden Crosley definitely one of them for Pint.
We saw too much of him last weekend.
He did. It was a sight to see. I was about 10 metres away from it, and probably not something that I want to relive too soon.
No.
But all fun up here. Ball comes down, bouncing out towards Williamson, who slaps it on the boot for, but Geordie Johnston once again with an intercept mark, and he's going to switch the play now to a few Crocs who've got plenty of time and space. Ball dribbles out. They've got the handball over the top. They go now to Loire, who can put it inside. They kick to Anderson, sliding and marking, who can go with a little chippy into the left and finds a man on the chest. It's Bo Schwartz again, and he's got a chance for number 2.
That was way too easy, wasn't it? Once they broke the shackles there. The hat kick out from Saints out of that contest was just horrible, because the Saints were way too far behind their opposition, and then they just swung the ball from one side of the ground to the other. 3 possessions. Anderson, the sliding chest mark, puts it on the chest of Schwartz, who's already got one today. So we'll see how this goes. Get them back within a couple of points.
Got a good angle. We've got a good look at this one. Bo Schwartz for his second of the day, 12th of the year, and he comes, Bo Schwartz. How does he like it off the boot? Did he sneak it home? He did. It's all smiles, and Schwartz gets a double, and the Crocs back to a 4-point deficit.
Well, as we spoke about, Lockie, it was just that hat kick out from St Mary's when they got the clearance. If they had their eyes down and their players had been a little bit more aware of what was going on in the surroundings and playing in front, is that they could have turned that into a shot of goal rather than have Bo Schwartz kick one from the other end. So the hat kicks just don't work. Eyes down. I think Chopper Vallejo is not going to be very happy with that. That might be a message for them at the halftime break is that we're working so hard to get the footy in which you can turn it over just as easy.
So Bo Schwartz with his 12th goal of season 25-26. Kicked 24 goals last year in his 14 games. For the Crocs, he's a notable goal kicker, an experienced veteran there in the forward line for Southern Districts. Ball back up in the middle. Reed had to go through his legs to pick it up. The big man had to bend down, eventually gave away a free kick, so Matt Johnston will get it inside 50 now. Farah didn't know whether it was his time to go, had to wait for Anderson to come through. Handball over to Schwartz. Can he go a double in the minute? Schwartz, plenty of time and space. Bang!
Well, that's the Southern Districts that we know, and how quickly that they moved the ball and what they could do. They could have raffled it then. I think it was Farah and Jed Anderson were both running at the same footy. Jed took the ball. Schwartz was standing there by himself. Nobody had followed him in. Handball over the top, and he runs in from 25 metres. So not only did Saints just virtually hand a goal away, is that they stood there and watched Districts take that ball from the centre of the ground with a free kick. Straight out of it. Liam Reid needs to be a little bit more wary about that, about just trying to tap the ball on rather than take possession.
This is how they kill the Crocs. They get on these little runs and all of a sudden they're right back in front of this game.
We've seen this way too often before out here at Fred's Pass too, is that once they get a run on with a home crowd, they can disassemble teams very, very quickly.
They are. Big moment here. They need it. Just stem a little bit of the bleeding away. Has other ideas, goes high. Schwartz has got the hot hand. He tries to come down with the mark, wasn't able to. Spoil came from long, still got it back. Schwartz handballed over the top. Just Sargent wasn't able to bring it down. Interesting from Green, but eventually they'll find the boundary line, so we'll get another throw in.
Looks like Jacob Long's got the job on Bo Schwartz. So Jacob hasn't played a lot of footy over the last 12 or 18 months. It's a big task for him.
It is. Schwartz kicked 3 goals. Ball dribbles out towards Jack Lant, who's got to go and get it. Handball up to Dewsbury, was clean over to Lant. They go to West now. Good little handball passage here. End up getting it out wide to Green. He can arch the back and go with the left. That kick's just off target when it needed to be. Yaron dug the body into Giddings, who slapped it forward. Grant came off his boot and went out on the full, so the Crocs will get the ball back.
Yes, they will. Try to, Luke Patterson, try to trick the umpire. Not going to have that.
So I go back to Butters. First time we've called his name today. Johnston. Now out wide to Lower. Switch the play really well, this Crocs team. Barry had to dribble it forward. Would be a good place to get an intercept if you were West, who fended off Barry. Got the handball back now to Crisp. Back to West. Can go inside 50. This kick will have to be good. It wasn't. It's picked off again by Burgess. So hard to penetrate that forward 50. Going inside, and they switch the play out to Barnow now, who's got plenty of time and space. Will be a tricky one to bounce, so he decides to kick in the right direction. Didn't trust the fall of the ball. Shannon running onto it. Got 2 Saints to deal with. Over to Schwartz again. Can he weave a bit of magic? Gets around Grant. He'll back himself from anywhere here. Bo Schwartz. He will from long range. This would be an unbelievable goal. It's gone through, has it? It has.
Wow, geez, you don't want to let him loose, do you? As we just spoke about, that Jacob Long had the job on him, and we may well find that a little bit hard because Schwartz has been running from virtually the start of the first quarter when he got that front and centre goal, and then he has continued on because he's the only goal scorer so far for Districts with 4 in what's going to be around about 30 minutes of footy.
Incredible from Bo Schwartz. I said that he can make something from anything here. He has a hot hand and he never looked like a chance, weaving around a few. Eventually got the time and space, and it didn't even look like it went through, Paul. From our angle, it looked like it had faded for a behind, but Schwartz, with all the luck, has got 4.
Yeah, it virtually hung onto that post, didn't it? And I think it maybe just worked its way around it. Goal umpire was in the best position. Everybody was asking questions, but the man in green had the finish, had the say.
Back up underway. Crocs have kicked the last 3. They're out by 8 points away, up, trying to run onto it. Went back the other way, so trying to dribble. It was Loire. He wasn't able to pick it up. West did. In and under sort of player, isn't he? Connor West will burrow his head in as much as he can. Ball ends up out in the Patterson direction, who dribbles forward in a dangerous spot, but as always, there are Crocs numbers there to mop up. Mitchell Burgess It's a dangerous kick now. Bit of pressure on here. Not a great place to turn it over. Loire try to get it to Jack Lamp. Burgess again. Cleaning up with the left boot. Went out wide in the Shannon direction. Got the handball. Burgess continued to come. Bouncing up. Dylan Lant. Clean. Able to weave and eventually get on the left boot now. West will have to back. Got plenty to deal with. Giddings was always going to be the man to come across, and he takes the intercept mark.
There's that hat kick again. I mean, mind you, I don't think Dylan had too many other opportunities. He was battling by himself for a long time.
Butters. Sargent on short. Goes over him to Ryan, and that was a good option. Not competing. Walters at the back. Ryan's had a few marks already. Goes to another one-on-one. Dylan Barry's standing under it. So's Anderson out the back there. Barry goes back. He's on long. Handball over the top. Line ball looking for someone. Thomas was the man. Can he run and take a bounce? Plenty of time and space. Taron Thomas would back his chances. Was in two minds. Eventually, Farrell was on the goal line to extend the Crocs margin of 14 points.
Well, it's a purple patch here, as we spoke about earlier. Lockie districts love playing at home, and they've got a bit of a headwind here as that they've taken off. And a couple of repeat goals there to Schwartz, and then the play, as we just saw, with Farrah taking the mark in the goal square from a Taron Thomas kick. But all the hard work was done there. Wyatt Ryan took the big mark, uncontested virtually. Walters was behind him, but just couldn't keep up with him. So maybe Big Wyatt, he's maybe got a little bit more fuel than what Walters has. They might want to look at maybe putting a bit more agile read onto him.
Yeah, they might. He's been the target all day. Wyatt Ryan.
We've seen him take control of games so many times. He just controls it from the middle and feeds down to their smalls. Saints get the ball out.
They go out wide towards Dewsbury. Tapping forward, getting it in. This is the kick here. They can't afford to turn it over at this part of the ground. Yaron will try to keep it in play. Eventually he does, running towards the boundary line. Can kick it inside. That's a good kick to West. Wasn't able to come down with it. Dribbling out the back to Giddings. Handball over the top to Johnston, who had a few Saints hanging off him. Got the handball away and was dumped as he was tackled. So the advantage is paid out to Narkle, who can run and carry. Kicks it out in the direction of Ryan, who's trailed. He's got plenty of time and space. Take a bounce, son. Decides to go by foot, and it was a good option in the end. Thomas bounced off his chest, so he's got a tackle, and the Crocs, Taron Thomas, just bouncing off his chest uncharacteristically, and it gifts St Mary's a life.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Came out way too easy. They're usually better than that. District's about holding it into their forward line.
Parnell kicks it about 70 metres in the direction of Braunthal, who had Johnson coming at him. Handballed it over the top to Burgess. We'll go back inside now. Awaya, best on ground last week against Nightcliff for the Crocs. Goes to Narkle, who's always good. Oh. Handball wasn't. Commentator's curse. Shock horror. Gives it to Jonathan Ross, who can go inside 50 now. He's got Farah, who won't drop the mark. And Farrell would almost back himself from 47, 48 metres out.
So I was going to say, he turned his back pretty much straight away, put his hand up, he goes, this is mine, I'm on the scoreboard. He's going to kick from 50. He can lay into him. There's no breeze here, virtually, at all.
Yeah, you're right. Conditions nil.
Yeah, it's actually, rain stopped. Ground has dried out somewhat. Ball handling's getting a lot easier.
Farah from long range.
No.
Kicked the last, was never on target. Chance for Thomas, but it was slapped over by Crisp. So behind, margin out to 15 points.
Interesting kicking style, Lockie. 2 steps. Didn't even really lay back on it.
Yeah, didn't.
Missed opportunities here again. They've kicked the last 3 or 4 goals, but their inaccuracy is costing them. It was 5 scoring shots each a while ago, and now it's 10-5.
Parnell over the top, bit of pressure on him. Smithson worked it out, but every possession is proving harder to come by if you're the Saints, and it's another turnover going inside there. Was really well done from Bidmaid. Went to the top of the goal square, pressure on. There's plenty of yellow jumpers. Smithson's one of them. Heat on him now. Pressure's ramped up a bit. Eventually they find space out to Robinson, but it's this kick here that he'll want to nail, and Narkle sweeping across. He's got men inside if he wants to use them. Ops for Shannon. Can he find a Crocs player, looking at Farah to come at him. Long off of the pressure, bouncing off players. Sargent dribbling ball out to Johnston. Picks it up cleanly, Johnston. Tried to get around a few. Ran into Valagio. Umpire let it go. Thought that was a chance for holding the ball. Went back in again. A rugby-like scrum proves for another ball up.
Well, some Bronx cheers from the Saints crowd then. It should have been, well, it looked to us as though it should have been paid, but there must have been some, maybe no prior opportunity.
Saints still yet to score. 15 minutes gone in this second quarter. Ball comes up. Reed almost got the hit out. Jack Lant going in there, twisting. Smooth operator, works in the phone box. Kick, tried to get to his brother. Eventually it does now. Dylan Lant, can he get himself involved on the left boot? West has got time and space. He'll run inside 50 now. Connor West, he'll go for home. This one always looks good from Connor West. What a star.
Well, they needed that. They needed that something fiercely. Is that they've had to battle hard for it, though. Their defensive line has been pretty strong. Jack Lant was the one that got the hard ball and pushed it forward. Dylan Lant was able to team up. They were able to move the ball forward. And West, of all people, who has had the ball on a string so far this afternoon, found himself loose. And the big fella, Walters, ran to the pocket to draw his opponent out of the conversation. And West virtually chipped it over the top, bounced through for a goal. So sorely needed, but at 9-point margin, the Saints have had a lot of the footy. Districts made most of more opportunities.
Yeah, much needed goal, and once they were able to get over that Croc sort of wall that they've got set up, there was plenty of space for West to just run into, and he made no mistake. Margin back to 9 points now. Next goal's massive, you'd think, as we approach half-time. Smithson running back to get the footy. Bounced off Johnston, goes inside now. Can someone come up with a mark? Spoil came from Bidmaid. Still bouncing out towards Valagio now. Wasn't able to get there. Sargent put a foot in, still dribbling. Williamson's a chance here. Eventually it gets to him. In a few minds, picked the right option. Got nailed by Dennis after the kick, but it was good enough to find Connor West, who will go back and have another opportunity. Long way out from goal, though.
Bit of a one-man band today, isn't he, with Saints? Is that the Lant brothers are working very hard in the middle, but West seems to be the one popping up. He's producing for them so far.
His first Saints game of the season, played 13 last year. 26-year-old.
He's obviously relocated back to Perth.
Yeah, you're right. Spent some time in the Perth Football League this year. Very, very handy footballer. He's Connor West. This would be a massive kick now. Never looked on target. In fact, it's out in the full.
Nothing. Well, they've got it down there. They just need to keep it down there, or get it, at least get a repeat inside 50 now, Saints, to try and control a little bit of this play. Because what Districts weren't able to do last week against Nightcliffe, they've certainly been able to do this week against Saints. But their possession game, and they've been able to move the ball a lot freer, and they haven't been hemmed into boundary lines.
So Benjamin Barnard has got the ball in hand. Goes with a long kick out wide, looking for flyers at the back. Farrell was one of them. Shannon got it off hands, kicking forward in the Barry direction. Ratcliffe came through him. Barry tried to throw in a shoulder bump, but we'll get another throw in.
So 5-5-35, 4-2-26. We're at just gone 18 minutes. We've probably got 3 or 4 minutes of play left here before the half.
St Mary's 4 goal scorers. Crocs have 2. Bo Schwartz has kicked 4 goals in the first half of this one, as we see another free kick. This time go the way of Southern Districts. Out of the middle, Matty Dennis. Shannon was put under a lot of heat. Ball somehow just stayed in. Funny things happen here at Fred's Pass, and it goes the way of the Crocs. Anderson on the left boot. They look so good when they get on a roll. Farah can do just that inside 50, and a 50-metre penalty has been paid. Barry took the advantage, but the umpire will say the 50 will stand, and Willie Farrell will have a chance at number 2 in this quarter.
Well, the discipline is killing them, isn't it? Is that they need to be better than that.
You're right, Paul. Costly mistake. Puts Willie Farrell within 10 metres of goal. And you'd think he would make no mistake from here to extend the margin. Farah comes in, touched off the boot.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
There's sounds of laughter that you can hear, by the way, from the crowd. So that's a gift. That is a gift that you drop on Christmas Day that you've just smashed.
It is almost calmer, you'd think, for the advantage that Barry tried to play on, and Farah just touched off the boot. Can you believe that? The margin's out to 10 points. Still a contested footy to win, and they get away with one. The Saints right on the stroke of half time as we approach that time on. 5-6 plays 4-2. Ball up, slapped out by Dennis. Still got it in the way of the Oa direction. But he finds the boundary line and we'll get another stoppage.
So 10 points, as Lockie's just mentioned, we're just about into time on. It's in the dangerous territory. Districts, forward 50.
Right, Valagio's men will more than take a 10-point deficit in. They won't want to give anything else away. They almost did through Farah. Handball is attempting to come up, but there's plenty of Saints jumpers there to spoil the party. Eventually running through there was Butters, not able to be clean. Dennis, Valagio's in there too, so's Lant. He'll look to just clear the area. Soccer forward, clever little tap there was from Ken. Now they can get moving. How will Yaron see this? An advantage is being paid now. Will find the chest of his man in Walters, who will hopefully turn and go. It'll be a long kick for home.
He's got a runner here. He's going to use him too, I think. That's Dylan Lant. Doesn't miss too many. Left footer. Long bomb.
Right to the goal line, but was never going to have the trip, and Ryan will cut it off.
Look good from here. About 4 or 5 metres short.
To Butters, and is that another 50-metre penalty? Geez, he was hot on that, the umpire. Didn't even give chance for Valagio to step back, and I don't know about you, Paul, but 50-metre penalty is so massive and detrimental to the team that gives it away. It needs to be for more than just a simple step over the mark, you'd think. Barry working around, then goes with the outside of the boot. That was
going
to be really important, but another snap behind.
Lockie, I'd love to agree with you, but in my position, I can't really mention anything in relation to umpires' programs. Know that they do a good job, but some rules probably need to be looked at.
Wanderers women's coach speaking there, Paul Marr. Offers a no comment. His kick comes out. Long kick. Barry came across. 3 Crocs flew. Dylan Lant didn't, so he can run and bounce and take a few bounces. Dennis is trailing him. He's never going to catch him. Dylan Lant will continue. That's 3 bounces cleanly. Dennis still trailing. Dylan Lant ran towards the boundary line. Had a ping from long range, but once again he's short. And that running race, Matty Dennis, he'll be cooked now. Lant stretched him, but didn't give up much there, the old Matty Dennis.
That would have been good if he'd have caught him. It wouldn't have been good for Dylan.
Certainly a sight to see down the near wing. As the big man loping towards the 2-time Nichols medalist.
It's a little bit Harry Madden-like, wasn't it?
Wagoa, it was Paul.
Sean Wren, I think, was the man.
Goes down the line. Bouncing out towards Luke Davies, who picked it up cleanly. Kick wasn't clean. Gonna ask plenty. Wagoa coming through and split the 2-on-1 to get another stoppage. Well done.
It's just little things like that, Lockie, isn't it? That just a little bit of a missed kick. Put some pressure on. Away has been very, very good in his debut with Districts last week, and he's following that form up today.
Ball back into play. 23 minutes gone in this. You'd think the sign would be too far away. Ryan, down to Owa. He can flick back now to Ross, who's got Ryan on short, just the required 15 metres. Ryan will kick inside now to Ross, who will take off. He's got Land in pursuit, offer the pressure. That's a good kick inside from Ross, though. Farah was always favoured, and Robinson, you just can't play that far off. Willie Farah.
Interesting, Dylan chose to bump rather than to tackle then, so the tackle may well have impeded the kick. The bump really didn't seem to be able to do much. I'm not sure if he's down on his haunches there. He might have an issue. But Farah's having another shot from goal. It's about 30 metres behind where he was about 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago. Let's see if he can kick over the man on the mark this time. Once again, 2 steps. And it has kicked the goal. So he learnt from the last 2 attempts at goal, one of which missed and one of which hit the man on the mark, and he has managed to put what is his second goal for the afternoon on the board, stretching the lead 6-7-43. Southern Districts to Saints 4-2-26. So that's a handy 17 points going into the halftime break, which is a 3 straight kicks deficit that Districts have been able to take after a 10-point deficit at quarter time.
Yeah, 5-1 in this second quarter. It's been all Southern Districts. So often have they done this, where they've just piled on the goals quickly, and before the opposition can take a breath, it is suddenly out to a 17-point margin. As we continue to tick away here in this second quarter, trying to tap down there was Reed, had to offer the tackle, and we'll get another stoppage. The siren sounds to finish the first half here at Fred's Pass. In a quarter that started with a 10-point St Mary's lead, finishes with a 17 Crocs lead. They have piled on the goals, as I mentioned, 5-1, and your goal scorers quickly. Bo Schwartz, 4 goals. Willie Farrett, 2, and for St Mary's have split them. Connor West, Yaron Grant and Reed all with singles. But, Paul, it was all the reigning premiers in that second quarter.
Well, it was the Bo Schwartz show for probably the first 15 or so minutes, when he's kicked 3 goals and in fairly quick succession as well, which turned the game on its head. He was unstoppable. Jacob Long was on him, and he finished up having to Chopper Malaysia had to make the move and move him off Schwartz, because he was becoming so dominant and found himself loose. But Districts had started to take control of the footy, whereas they had in the first quarter. They were very inaccurate, but they started taking control, and their forwards were starting to move, which gave them more opportunities. And when the ball popped up, Bo Schwartz was the man that was there. Will Farrell finished up with 2 towards the back end of the quarter there, but Saints sort of stopped their movement. Their ball movement and their skill level had dropped. Maybe a wet ball, maybe they run out of fuel a little bit, but they sort of let themselves down there. With a couple of 50-metre penalties and some poor possession. But 17 points, 3 goals, but we know what Saints are like. You've been watching AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live here on NT News and Community TV. We'll be back with the second half shortly.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in the screen. This is my city, yeah, this is my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top-end footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Round 10 game here at Fred's Pass. Grand final rematch, St Mary's versus Southern Districts. Round 10 is Indigenous round in the NTFL, a time to honour the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players and officials who have shaped and enriched our game for generations. And today, half-time, Crocs with a 17-point lead over St Mary's. My name is Paul Maher. And Lockie Humphrey sitting beside me, enjoying the outdoor broadcast here from Fred's Pass. Lockie, how have you seen the first half?
Yeah, it's been a good game of footy so far. It's fair to say the Crocs didn't make the most of their opportunities in the first quarter, but they certainly did there in the second, kicking 5-1. Luckily, through Connor West, the Saints were able to get on the board and just stem the bleeding a little bit. But you're right, a 17-point margin in this first goal, you'd think, Paul, would be very, very massive for both teams either way. Definitely going to shape what is going to be a cracking second half. Quarter time, and we had 5 scoring shots apiece. Saints had kicked 3-2 and Districts had kicked 1-5. So they've certainly turned that around by kicking 5-2 in the second quarter. And 3 of those to the superstar half forward, Bo Schwartz. You're right, Bo Schwartz, hot hand early in this one. He's kicked 4 goals. It's the Crocs in round 1 who were able to get the Chocolates by 2 goals. In another grand final rematch, you'd expect to see these two teams deep in a finals run again, as we see Smithson go high and long. The first clearance of the second half, a free kick will be paid. You'd think it would go the way of the Crocs, and they're just going to get out of trouble again, as they always do. There's that hat kick again. Obviously, words fell on deaf ears at the half-time break from Chopper Velasio. So out to Farah. And he'll just be able to go over the top now to Winder. So, Paul, being a coach yourself, what do you think the message from the St Mary's coach, Velasio, would have been at half-time? Well, I mean, they're not playing that bad. It's just that they've let Districts off the chain a little bit, especially with a small forward like Schwartz, and they know what he's like and they know how damaging that they can be. Any opportunity is going to be taken up. The Saints' disposal was a little bit lacking at the same time, and a little bit of discipline. So they're not playing that bad. The Districts are playing pretty good. I think just go back to the basics, tighten up a little bit, get a little bit closer to your opposition, and ensure that what you're going to do is going to work, because if it's not, don't do it. You're right. Fair few goals going the way of the Crocs through 50-metre penalties in that first half, and you think that is what the margin has been truly built off. Well, the 50-metre penalty that put Farah virtually in the goal square, but he missed. But there's been another couple of which has pushed them down the ground, and then the opportunities that Schwartz has taken. But it's, as I said, it's every time that they try to go back inside Saints is that they kept turning the ball over into the red, black and white. So their turnovers have cost them. I'd be interested to have a look at the stats on Monday morning about how many clangers that they've had, but they're still in it and never write them off. Ball back up in play here after a few stoppages. Taron Thomas rolling forward now. A big booming kick from the clearance, went in the Dennis direction. Had Chris hanging off him. Schwartz again. He couldn't make it a handful, Bo Schwartz. No, he couldn't. It was missed everything. Even beyond him to put that one through, and it was out on the full. So Long will get the footy back. See, that's that opportunist that Schwartz is, that they need to be right onto him. Long taking his time. They've got to get this right. They've got to get this deep outside. The only problem is they're going to kick it back to where it came from. They will. So the Crocs are lining up to take an intercept mark. It was almost scripted, really. Dennis and Ryan sitting there. Dennis was the one that was able to take it down. So he can pump it right back to where it came from, but Long will force the spoil and we'll get another throw in. 3 minutes gone in this third quarter. It was a little bit difficult there for Jacob, though, too. Unless he was going to play on and bring the ball across the other side of the ground, he decided to go down the line. And I dare say that Gundale and Chopper would be standing there going, I thought we said don't kick it to the big fella. Ball back into play. Dennis won the hit out down. Quick kick came out. Narkle got spoiled. Running through his Vallegio. He was with Burgess. Grant did well, was poised, and now can unleash a bit of attack out to the far side. Bouncing ball out to the whiz in Parnell. He'll back himself. Away go Owers on his trail, so the kick had to be forced, and Johnston was playing in front. Always going to be the intercept man there. Kicks to his brother Matt. Now inside. They go by hand. Chance here. He'll look up. Bid made. Rolls around. Tries to go to Thomas. Working to him. Thomas now to Johnston. He's a chance if he can get clear ball. Just hacked it forward. Dribbler out in front of Farrett. Now Anderson from the boundary line. What can he create here? He can get a left foot kick to Johnson. Uncharacteristically drop the mark. Narkle is still on the scene. Little fend off. Handball over. Thomas now. Can he snap one round the corner? It's a dribbling ball, but it's through for a behind.
What a fast moving football. Then both Jed Anderson, Narkle and Thomas all standing there by themselves. But the big problem is Big Walters down in the full forward line there. He's the only player on the Samiri side of the centre of the ground, and he's in a horrible state by the looks of him. He's just lumbering around. They can't be that many players down already, can they?
You'd think not, but they've got plenty of headaches.
Not even to contest there, and his players playing 20 metres in front of him, 20, 25 metres in front of him.
Ratcliffe kicks forward again. Grant had to come up and try to meet it. Off hands Braunthal. Got it over to West, who had a few to fend off. Too many. And the tackle came from Butters. West trying to get something going here. Cheeky on the mark as well.
Been around a bit by the looks of him.
Butters. Kick was just off the side of the boot. Not favouring anyone really. It was a poor kick in the end. Braunthal came up with it. Trying to tap forward as Williamson. Pressure was on him. Yaron will test his soccer skills. They weren't great. Kai Williamson burrowed in the knee. He's hurt Jalen Clark. He's down for the count. Looks like a shoulder, maybe a collarbone. They're still on the ground now. Big collision. Ball goes out towards the wing. Line ball. Braunthal's out there again. Bid made handball up. Butters kick forward. Bouncing ball in the Farah direction. Will go back with the handball to Anderson now. He'll always be a chance to find a target, but the spoil came. How does he look over there, Jalen Clark? Paul?
No, he's off and doesn't look in a good way. Hands to the trainers. He's going straight up well, it's not a race, it's a track, into the change rooms. He's done for the day.
Yeah, it looked like the sliding knee came in and collected his shoulder or collarbone area, and he is well and truly in a lot of pain there. Jalen Clark. Dennis down. Schwartz again. Chance taken high. Bowie Schwartz. Cheeky grin. He knows what he's doing. He's an experienced campaigner, and he's going to go back for a bag.
No, he hasn't gone up the race. He's gone back into the or underneath the Kennard's hire tent. There's a plug for you. Doesn't look good though.
So Rusker and Barnard will have to somewhat throw around the magnets. Jalen Clark most likely out of the game.
Was a little bit crash too, the tackle, wasn't it? The slide in with the knees.
So Bo Schwartz, the vice captain, kicked 4 goals in the first half. He's got a chance for goal number 5 here. He's having a magical day, and this one you'd think shouldn't worry him. Instead, the opportunity goes begging. He could have had a monster day, but he's missed it. So Dylan Lant will be trusted with the kick-in duties. We see him do this on multiple occasions, taking it upon himself, the skipper, to go out wide, and finds the target there in Davies. He's got Crisp over the top. Kick was short of him. Dennis gave the pressure. Smithson. Anderson just threw in the shoulder, and he's so good at that, Anderson, just affecting the possession, and we'll get another stoppage.
I think that might be a little bit of payback. He's not good there, Josh Smithson. Let's come off. He's all right, though. Back up again. Been a bit of a stalwart on and off for Saints over the last couple of years. He's been their import.
Reed, hit out down. Lant got the ball moving forward, bouncing out wide there to Kent. Wasn't able to pick it up cleanly. Davies was, and they flick a few handballs around. Kent finds a footy in the end, gets the kick up down the line, looking to find a target. That kick out just hasn't worked. Yaron's the beneficiary of a free kick, however, so they can get rolling now. West, he'll want to go quickly to a one-on-one inside the forward 50. That's where he goes now with a chiseling kick, but Johnston again. Geordie Johnston, so good, intercepting defence, and that'll be 5 or 6 already today.
Yeah, he's been stoic back there, hasn't he? He's just been that intercept.
The kick comes out towards Farah. Now Narkle. And in 2 seconds, the Crocs are back into attack, but kick was short of Barry, so they'll get another throw in. But yeah, you're right. Geordie Johnston just coming across, reads the ball so well. Kick 5 or 6 goals against the Wanderers. They just threw him forward, and he used that talent to be able to take a few forward 50 marks. This time he's doing it down back. Jack Lant off hands, another free kick, this time the way of the Saints. So Lant will be able to put him into attack. Connor West can run onto this ball again. It's going to be a contest out towards Burgess. Grant followed him, handball over the top. Johnston, another rebound 50, was smashed as he kicked. Shouldn't have been a free kick. I didn't think it was much in it, but Patterson gave it away.
Well, they haven't really gained a great deal of territory because it went sideways by about 65 metres.
So it's a downfield free kick to Barnard. The worst thing for the Saints, just to slow down the play. Matt Johnston.
Matty Dennis wants it long. Gone back over inside. This could be costly.
It's a dangerous kick. Connor Giddings put down the mark. Dylan Land, always the opportunist. Can he slam this one through? He can, the skipper.
Well, it was just a matter of time before Saints sort of broke back for getting back on the scoreboard, and it was just that inside, that forward pressure that put it on them. First the West running in forward, but the intercept mark, it came back again, but they were able to get the ball back in through a series of handballs and kicks, and then that turnover then where Districts decided to go from outside back inside, which is not really a good idea when you're still in your defensive 50. And Saints, of all people, Dylan Lant was hovering in and was able to take control and kick that goal from about 40 metres out, which is now the margin, 6-9-45 to 5-2-32, back to 13 points.
Yeah, costly turnover. Was a dangerous kick from Johnston. Giddings dropped the mark, and Dylan Lant, always on the scene, kicks his first goal of the day.
The process that if you're going to do it, you've got to be 100% sure it's going to work.
Back in the middle, handball came out, finds Winder, who goes backwards and works one to Shannon, who's got a bit of time on the wing. Can put him into attack. Barry leading in front again. Good pick up from Dennis. Now over to Herwago. Owa can set sail for home, but he misses yet another opportunity. They're 10th behind.
It's quick movement.
So Parnell will take the kick in. Haven't called his name as much as we usually do.
No, he's had a bit more of a shutdown job, I would have thought, on a day like today, although he's usually very explosive in the same breath.
Ratcliffe got to sit under it. Does. Comes up with a nice mark, and now they can go on and attack the Saints. They've made the most of their opportunities when they've got it down there, but it just hasn't been down there enough. A chance to do so here. Lant tried to work the high free kick, got the handball to Vallegio. Can go to West now. He's led from the front all day. Connor West, and he's got a chance for number 2.
Good work from Jack Lant. Put himself in the path of the footy. Braced himself, drew some high contact, but was able to get that handball out, and he had a series of runners. Xavier Vallejo, nice disposal to West inside 50. He's probably going to kick from 40. He's already kicked a goal.
He has. Connor West. And he comes now. Big kick for the Saints, you'd think. Just misses far side. Back to 13 points.
They looked dangerous then, didn't they? Brought the ball out of defence. Parnell was involved.
Ross now to Sargent, who does have the tough job on West in the forward line. Kicks in the middle of the ground, asks a lot of Anderson, but Jed. Never too much as Jed can roll forward. Got the hurried kick on, straight into attack here. Bouncing ball, Schwartz. Long did well to come off his man and cleaned up the mess. So they go out to Williamson now, and suddenly the Saints just have a little bit of momentum coming out of that back half as this kick goes inside 50 to Green. He'll look to switch the play out wide now. They've got Ratcliffe again. Dewsbury will be the one that marks it. Watch Ratcliffe with the blonde hair look to get on the end of this short pass.
Can't see it.
Dewsbury's in a lot of minds. butters.
Needs a shepherd.
Probably
not be standing in his road, actually.
Probably not the worst one to just roll around White Ryan. Grant dropped the mark, lost his footing, got back to feet. Kicked inside now, but kick was never going to favour his teammates. Going through, free kick's going to be paid. Which way will it go?
Pushing him back.
Will
that happen?
Be the way of Mitch Burgess. Umpire saw something we didn't. Ross goes out wide now. Trying to come up with it there is Butters, who does eventually takes a strong contested mark. They don't drop many, the Crocs. Kick inside of Ross. Really started to come into the game. Jonathan Ross. Kick goes up the line now. Ratcliffe came through with the spoil. Bidmaid still there. Lant went to go and get it. Parnelli's mate will try to help him out. Lant eventually comes up with a football and kicks a nice little chiseler inside to Patterson, who goes quick with the handball to Yaron. And out wide to Smithson. So a good build up here for the Saints now. It's this next kick inside 50 with not many tall targets down there and Ryan lurking. It has to be short inside, and it is to Patterson, not 15 to Parnell. Now a handball to Smithson again. He's got a booming leg, but this one is not to the favour of any teammates, and they were just waiting for that one. Connor Giddings was the man who was able to take the mark, and they go out wide to wind up. Butters, Jay Johnston, and now Hawaii, who will always take the opportunity to run and carry. Goes long in the Schwartz direction. He'll try to get it out the back. Spoil came from above, still waiting for a man to come up with it. Bo Schwartz in there again. Will offer the pressure, but the Saints cleaning up well again. Dewsbury played in between the arcs in the last 5 minutes. Kick inside's poor, but Green can come up with it. Sells a candy to Bidmaid. Now Lant. Shorter kick. Better one of Valagio. Range is definitely beyond him, so he feeds to Lant. This range isn't beyond the skipper, though. He can go for two in a row, Dylan Lant. And if ever there was a need for a captain's goal, there it was.
Well, he demanded that, absolutely demanded that. He got the short kick there to Valagio to start with, and then got the give and go. And he, as I said, great call, Lockie, in relation to the captain's goal, because they were just hanging and waiting for something to happen. And now Dylan's done this twice. He's got them back to a 7-point deficit. So what didn't look good about 15 minutes ago is now not looking too bad for Saints.
Kicked the only 2 goals of the third quarter, St Mary's, and it is Dylan Lant, the 2-time Nichols medalist. How often have we seen him do this? Just simply will his team back into contention.
The only thing is you draw a lot of attention to himself at the same time, so he'd become a little bit of a target. But he's the one that's doing it. They're working the ball well out of defensive line and out to the outside here. Dewsbury's taken a couple of marks and has been able to move the ball on. Been a little bit slow, but it gave Lant the opportunity, and the end result was a goal.
Out of the middle, soccering forward. We'll go again with the left boot. Ball dribbles out wide towards Braunthal. Took him with the leg, so Saints get another free kick. Advantage won't be paid. You hope this one isn't paid to the... It is paid to Hawaii.
Can't say anything.
Didn't think that was a free kick, but...
Well, he dived on the ball first, and Awego finished up virtually falling over him.
And Braunthal looks to have hurt himself as well as the kick goes into the pocket. Barry will take the mark in a good position for him. He loves to roll around. You're right. You hate to see blokes punished for trying to get the football. Dylan Barry rushes that one and misses it.
Yeah, it was just that he decided he had him for pace, and he just decided to throw himself on top of the ball. And with that, Hawaii finished up falling over the top of him. So, rules are rules.
4 behinds this quarter for Southern Districts, yet to score a goal in quarter number 3. St Mary's have kicked 2. This kick comes out to Kyle Williamson now. Big moment, not only in this game, but you think for both teams' respective seasons. This time the umpire has been in 2 minds and a bit of dissent, so we're going to have a ball up. Dylan Barry will take the ruck work. He wasn't the designated man who slapped it forward. Umpire's just going to let everything go and wants his own time to reset. So a few handballs over the top now. Smother tried to calm. That's a poor kick. Almost turned over. The pressure's going to come on Giddings. Yaron will come at him hard, and he did well to force the turnover to Valagio. Doesn't take any time, kicks it inside. Is that Lant again? Lant rolls around. 3 in a row for the skipper. Jeez, he's a star. They're back to a 2-point margin.
Well, that was all about a couple of whistles being blown in the defensive area, which Saints didn't let concern them. There was a ball up and they just broke away from the pack again. Their runners, the Buthenall, Dewsbury, were all getting involved. Xavier Valagio has picked up his act as well in this third quarter, and Dylan Lance is supposed to be resting, I dare say, in the forward pocket or in the goal square, and has managed to kick 3 goals in this quarter.
He's a superstar. He just wills his team. 3 goals in this third quarter, all to Dylan Lant, and it is back to a 2-point margin as we approach time on in the third quarter.
Well, looks like we've got a... No, the umpire is bringing the ruckman together and having a bit of a stern word to all people concerned. Let's get it out there.
He's just got to get on with it here.
Asserting some authority.
Fortunately, it is just a physical game. Both sides want it just as much as the other. This kick goes long and high. Giddings will come with a spoil. Valagio's at ground level. Trying to roll through as Williamson. Tried to run when he didn't have it. Umpire let the whistle go away. Working out wide of Butters now. Was clever to get around a few. Kick was smothered. Anderson, you'd think it'd be good enough, but an untimely fumble. He's not happy with himself, and the momentum's in the way of the Saints. Dribbling forward now. An opportunity. This time, Jack Land. What a moment. He misses. 1-point margin.
Jeez, it's getting hot out there. You can hear the voices. I'm not sure if that's the district's boys trying to egg each other on, or if there could be something else going on out there. But it's been all Saints.
It is 3 goals to none in this third quarter. A massive moment here. Johnston down the line now. Puck flies, coming off hands. Pressure came again. Jack Lant will will himself towards this one. He'll always go the man. Puts his head under it and just earned the free kick. He just wanted it more, Jack Lant, as he does on so many occasions, and he can go with the left boot inside now to his brother Dylan. Bouncing ball, Johnson came across. Handball was pressured. Chance here for Lant again. What can he produce? Top of the goal square. Came off hands. Grant still there. Pressure on. West went low. Still a chance. Umpires found a free kick. Which way will this one go?
It's going to Saints.
Unbelievable.
Not sure if it's Dominic Grant or not.
It isn't. It'll be Heisey Loire.
It's Loire, yes. I think he just got himself in front of the ball at the right time, and the stampeding Crocs chasing the ball out of defence may well have come over the top of him. Umpire Somerville was right on it.
So Heisey Loire in his Premier League debut. What a time to kick your first goal in the Premier League. He's missed. He's hit the post. Can you believe that? Scores are level here at Fred's Pass as we get to time on in this third quarter.
Well, state the obvious. Could be interesting last quarter here, Lockie.
You'd hope so, Paul. We're going to get a grandstand finish, you'd think. Anderson. Ross just missed the target. Just that touch more fumbly, the Crocs, when their heaters came. We saw last week Nightcliff brought it, and it's just little moments. They get a bit fumbly when the pressure's on. There again. Numbers here.
2 of them.
Can they work it out? The Saints bouncing out towards the plays, but yet another fumble to the Crocs. Johnson was taken high. Umpire thought about it, said no. Still Numbers. Bouncing out towards. Here comes a snap from Patterson. This is a chance that's never looking online, and eventually it gets a score, but it will mean that the Saints hit the front for the first time since the first quarter.
Well, there was about 4 Saints players at the back of the pack there, not a Croc to be seen.
Just fumbly moments.
It's a massive forward pressure this quarter.
Fly came from the back. Jack Lant trying to trail it, but it'll bounce out of bounds and we'll get a throw in. And the siren will put an end to all that and what has been a truly remarkable quarter of football here at Fred's Pass. The Crocs kicked 4 behinds and the Saints kicked 3 goals, all of them to the skipper in Dylan Lant. And at 3-quarter time, it is a 1-point margin going the way of St Mary's. Paul, to state the obvious, who do you like in that third quarter?
Well, I mean, there's been the scoring end. we've got to say, is that Saints kicked a couple with it in the first and the third, and the Crocs were outstanding to the northern end in the second quarter. So Crocs are going to be kicking that way in the last. So if we're talking about scoring ends, it's going to be a Crocs last quarter. But Saints were very good in defence. They nullified their forward structure. Farah wasn't able to touch the ball. Bo Schwartz had one shot for goal. I think maybe even one disposal. We haven't seen much out of Thomas. Obviously missing Stephen Motlop through suspension. They've lacked a little bit of forward thrust there apart from Bo Schwartz, and Will Farrell's is the only other goal kicker. So out of a structure of 6, they've only got 2 that are really performing for them. So they need to be able to get the footy into those guys' hands to be able to make the most of this game. Saints, on the other hand, an all-round good effort. Defence were good. They were winning the ball out of the centre. Josh Smithson was fantastic, as was Connor Weston, and then Dylan, moving forward, was able to polish off. You've been watching AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. We'll be back with what will be a sensational last quarter shortly.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. King for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in the screen. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Top end footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top end footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to AFL NT's coverage of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Round 10 clash between last year's grand finalists St Mary's and Southern Districts. Round 10 is Indigenous round as it continues into the NTFL this weekend. A time to honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players, officials who have shaped and enriched our game for generations. 1 point. And it's in the hands of St Mary's at the moment for what is going to be a sensational last quarter.
Back underway here at Fred's Pass. Ball bouncing out wide to Kent. Had pressure on him. Went to Ratcliffe, who was tackled straight away by Johnston under there, who got the holding the footy. Umpire hot on that one today. So first chance here for the Crocs. Johnston will look for the lead. Dennis comes at Johnston, rolls around, goes past all, top of the square, off hands from Thomas again, and he threw a man down and gave away a sloppy free kick. So St Mary's will get the footy back.
And 50. So that's undisciplined. They're the silly things that could cost Districts. There was nothing in that. Taron Thomas had given the free kick away for the holding the man, and Districts undisciplined after the fact has put the ball now outside of their forward 50, virtually just about into St Mary's 50. Jacob Long streaks down the ground.
Takes off Long, goes inside 50 now. End-to-end stuff here for the Saints, but cleaning up was Johnston. Just got the kick away in time, dribbling out towards Barnard in there. Yaron in and under. Over the top from Long. Kent can straighten up, almost might back himself, and then just missed his boot completely. Can you believe that? Laid the tackle, but opportunity goes begging. Kenny has a wry smile. He just hit that one very, very, very fat.
I dare say that the coaching staff won't be smiling, especially when he had an option on the outside in Ratcliffe for a quick handball.
Yaron just got it to Braunthal, has Lant there, was always going to sell the candy, gets onto his right foot, top of the goal square, numbers with the Crocs, bouncing out there, Williamson will trail, but the boundary will win, and not a bad result for the green and gold.
Yeah, they'll get a stoppage inside 50 is what they want. They need to set up, as we can see, the big man Walters heading across to the far side of the ground for that hat kick out.
Back into play, Ryan. Hit out down to Ross. He's been fantastic today. Over to Winder. Now Sargent just rushed the kick. Wasn't poised. Handball came up. Smithson can put it back into attack now. This is a really good kick to an unmanned Patterson, and he's got an opportunity to get the Saints on the board in this fourth quarter.
He's been good all day, Smithson, hasn't he? He's just a workhorse for them. He gets himself in behind the footy at the right time, and he was in that area then where that hat kick came out, where we said the big Walters was heading over, and they were able to get the ball out of that half-forward flank back into their forward 50. And Patterson, the goal kicker, although he's kicked them all in 2 games, will shoot from just inside the 50-metre arc.
You're right. He hasn't kicked one today, but he's certainly been in the action, and he's just missed that one. So a chance to get the first on the board. You're just wondering how much will play into this one. The 21-day break for St Mary's. Haven't played footy, obviously, the Cyclone and a few other breaks in there for 3 weeks. And the Crocs coming off last week's loss to Nightcliff. Kick goes forward from Sargent, bouncing out towards Robinson. Barry will trail him. No doubt the pressure will come. Handball came over the top to Davies. Schwartz dived on top of him. They'll ask a few questions here. The umpire will say, holding the footy.
Dragged it in. They've been fairly consistent with that all day, actually.
Ross, inside now, dribbling ball on the chest of Thomas. Can roll and go. A kick's high to Anderson. He was always going to have to go back with it. Good pick up from Reed. Now West will all be clean. Kick didn't favour the teammate. Ryan has to bend down. Vallegio, the smaller man, was there as well, but the turnover may be forced as it dribbles out towards Sargent. He was poised on this occasion to Dennis. And then gets it to his fellow Twin Tower in White Ryan. His kick's just outside the 50 to Farah, but we know he's got a big leg, Will Farah, and he would almost back himself here from 48 metres out.
Well, it's about his fourth shot from goal today. He's kicked 2. He's kicked into the man on the mark and he sprayed 1. So he's had a little bit of mixed result. Let's see if he takes more than 2 steps here. He's got to get his weight right, lay back on it.
So Willie Farah, Paul's right, he's had a kind of day.
Right hand post.
This would help. Comes in now, Farah. Big kick to the goal line. Did anyone get a hand on it? I don't think they did. Farah gets his third and the Crocs are back in front here with 5 minutes gone in the fourth quarter.
Well, a little bit seesawed from one direction to the other. It was in the goal square a moment ago at Saints End after a Patterson miss, and then the quick turnaround saw the ball and a beautiful kick from Big White Ryan. He's probably getting sick of being called Big White Ryan, but he was able to land the ball on Will Farah's chest 40 metres out from goal, didn't miss. So that's his third for the day. And Southern Districts have got 2 goal kickers, Bo Schwartz with 4, Will Farah with 3.
You're right, they're not sharing it around much today. You don't need to when you can kick them like that. Will Farah, he's got a really good leg when he can wind up. And that was a great goal. They're back in front by 4 points now. In the middle, Reed. Ball's just slapped forward now. Over the head of Thomas. Smithson put the head under. Ryan dived on top of him and we'll get another ball up.
Well, a lot of renowned goal kickers that they've had over the last couple of years not playing. Michael Bowden's usually good for a couple off a half-back flank. Obviously not playing today. Is that they've also, with Stephen Mott not playing, there's another goal kicker. So they've had to sort of utilise what they've got down there today.
Winder to the man again. Farah, from almost an identical position, will have another opportunity to extend the margin for the Crocs.
And this bloke must be wrapped up in black snakes because nobody's going anywhere near him.
He's had so much time.
Uncontested continuously, standing there by himself. Tim Somerville pushing him over at another 36 centimetres.
So Will Farah just kicked the last from the same spot. Just got to do the same thing. Should be easy.
3 steps this time, going too far left.
Just pushed it across this time. Dennis will be a chance, but the spoil came and not a bad result, out of bounds. So another stoppage for the Crocs.
Well, it's an inside 50 and it'll probably be to hold it in there until they score, but they just haven't had the firepower in there. The Schwartz goal early out of the goal square, but everything else has virtually been fairly easy for them to get.
Dennis was the tallest man there. Anderson down. He'll be trying so desperately to get them back on the winners list. It would have been quite a time since they lost 2 in a row. The umpire will pay, holding the footy. Is it to Jed Anderson? I think so.
Well, if you sit on the ball nowadays and you make no attempt to get it out, it doesn't matter what happens over and above that. I think Jed was a little bit maybe harsh in throwing himself on top of the player, but failure to get the ball out is the crime.
So Jed Anderson. They've been challenged today, the Crocs, should I say. They've been challenged by St Mary's.
Left foot or right foot here, Lockie, you reckon?
I think he'll go with the left and just try to work it inside and outside. How's that one been seen? No good.
Should have gone the right foot.
Pretty easy for us to say sitting here.
It is, but he was ordinary last week. He probably kicked 1 goal 4 or something last week, I reckon, and he hasn't got much better this week.
Right. If they were able to kick straight at the Crocs, the game would almost be dead and buried.
Well, it cost them last week, and this week, we're 10 minutes from finding out whether it's going to cost them again.
Burgess, clean pickup inside to Butters, who came into the game now. High ball, one-on-one contest. Dennis was clever just to tap it to Awaya, who got it forward in the Thomas direction now. Can he be clean? Salza Candy finds a left boot, kicks up and under, never going to make the trip. Farah's running back there. Chance went through his hands. Still an opportunity in the pocket. Robinson's got to be brave. It was Ratcliffe, sorry. Got the handball over the top to Kent, and it was out of bounds, but pressure certainly on St Mary's defence right now. Can they weather the storm?
Had plenty of time then, Thomas, as well. Probably should have settled a little bit, try to kick the ball around the corner. And I think he's middled one all day. Certainly going to take him a while to get back into mainstream.
Yeah, struggled. Thomas just finding the pace of the NTFL up here. The man that hasn't has been Connor West, straight back into the thick of thins. His first game back, away go Oa. Certainly been one of the best today for the Crocs. Handball out towards a bouncing Barnard's got pressure on him, wrapped up. Lant came through, tries to kick it in front of Butters. Will continue to go now. Big one-on-one contest here. He was good, Butters, in the face of Dylan Lant, roved off him. That's a massive contest, but the kick was poor. Kent wins the turnover. Handball goes to West. Inside with the handball over the top of Yaron. Still an opportunity for Yaron to pick it up. Went with the soccer off the ground. Mightn't have been the right option as it bounces towards the pocket. Offered the pressure. Johnson's kick was out on the full. Well done from Yaron to butter up the mistake.
Geez, you covered that up pretty quick, didn't you? He's good with like that. Nick Yaron used his pace, was able to get touched on the footy to move the ball 30 metres down the field. Pressured the mistake from Districts.
So Nick Yaron,
he's going to have a shot. Is he going to put it to the top of the square? There's nobody really at the top of the square. They're expecting him to kick it. Distance is probably not something that he highlights. He's gone the banana, and the distance no problems, but it didn't quite curl as far as what he wanted it to. But they've scored a point. We're back to 3 points. Districts way 7-11-53, 7-8-50 have gone 10.5 minutes.
One goal in this final quarter, the way of the Crocs. Can the Saints snuff one out? Smithson. Good Shepherd came on Oa. Braunthal trying to go through. Butters again. Got it back. Right. Well done, Butters. Over the top to Anderson, who got met in a really big collision. Pushed in the back by Davies, but won the free kick to Narkle. Kick over the top now to Dennis. They just build it up the place so easily, and this kick's the one here. Dennis roams around Vallegio, goes inside. Well done from the big man. Schwartz, can he go from the pocket? Kick goes long and high. No one's able to bring it down. Dennis once again buttering up. Farah roving off a few spins around, but well done from St Mary. Standing up again. Vallegio out to Jack Lant. And this one's down the line now. It's in the direction of Patterson. He's got Giddings to deal with. This is a big contest here too. Who will win this one? Patterson continued to go, but I think the boundary won.
That was right. Jack Land got the ball, stopped, looked, rather than the hack kick, which has been a turnover program all afternoon for Saints. Took the time, eyes down, decided to put it out in front. Well done, Jack.
So a big second half of this final quarter to go, you'd think. Both teams desperate to get back on the winners list. Last losses both coming to Nightcliff, albeit St Mary's was 3 weeks ago. Bounce comes out. Dribbles forward. Dennis again coming at the footy, overrun it. Green can go back to get it. Had Anderson to deal with. Narkle's back there as well. Fair bit of talent that Green's got to deal with. Too much in the end. Burgess went with the soccer skills, not opting to pick it up. Narkle did in the end. Got it out to Burgess, who went with the right boot inside. Good pick up from Thomas this time. Good handball to Barry, who can stream and run and kick to Schwartz. Dangerous time for the defender. Schwartz almost off the ground. It would have been an unbelievable volley, but wasn't to be. Kick-in's dangerous. Oh, it was always sitting there. That's a really, really costly turnover.
Thought he was doing the right thing then, KP too. Had all the experience. He was going to play on, and they've created a loose. Here we go. Saints are away.
Lower. Up to Jack Lant now. Can they beat him on the rebound? It came off the chest. Kick goes inside. Do they continue to motor forward, or do they just ease it up? Jack Lant will always want to push forward in the west direction now. Bouncing towards him. Sargent might have fallen in his back. Umpire let it go. Well done from Sargent. But the free kick will eventually be paid to Connor West. So they get away with one, the Saints. They go inside now to Braunthal. Big entry here, you'd think. Can someone come up with a mark? Dewsbury will be the man out the back. Pack flies again. Crocs have numbers there as they have on so many occasions today. And Narkle will be tidy with it. Uses all of his experience to get it over the top. And they're out again through Winder. Playing in front was Green. Was able to intercept Thomas. One-on-one contest right in front of us here. Thomas did well. Clean pickup. Handball back to Winder, who came through. Well done from Winder. Opted to go off the ground. Should have just picked it up in the end. Ratcliffe will end up leading the race. Barry was smart. Used his experience to go back and get it, and then handball it out of bounds. And we'll get a throw in.
It's good play there for Taron Thomas. It was a 2-on-1 virtually, and he was able to corral it, hold ground, move the ball forwards. Dewsbury, as the small player, 2 up there in that last contest with Grant. Maybe 1 down might have been the difference. Great tackle, too high.
Johnston won it.
It's going to give him an opportunity. He's probably right on the paint. That's unlucky by Robinson, who seems to have gone back into that hybrid on ball program.
Yeah, he went lower. Johnston simply earned the free kick. And he would surely back himself from here. He's a big kick, Matty Johnston. In a big moment, he would love to put this one through. He'll have to sink it from a long way out. Gives it everything he's got. Right to the goal line, a big fly, still a chance on the goal line. That would have been an unbelievable mark from Farah, who came from about 25 deep, but a ball up we will get, not a bad result.
Nearly stood on Jacob Long's head.
An unbelievable fly. You just don't expect that on the goal line. Kick came up. Still a chance here. Bid made in the goal square. Someone just trying to get a foot at it. Big moment. Pennell will just tap it across the line. The umpire will let him get away with it. 5-point lead to the Crocs. Jack Lant. Robinson surely will give it to his skipper. Lant on the left. Beautiful kick, and suddenly they're out here through Davies. It's end-to-end stuff here. He can barely get a breath in as he goes forward. Connor West is going to somehow have to create something, but Sargent picked it off again. So many intercept marks back there, and they find Ryan a moment to breathe, and the margin is 5 points. 16 minutes gone.
He had West running forwards, and he decided to go to a 3-on-1 where Grant was. West was standing there by himself, about 35 out of goal. So the little things like that, the eyes down, would have been a better option for Saints. They've still got it in their defence, in their forward 50 though.
Saints have manned up well, but they still are able to get this little inside kick, the Crocs, and they move the ball so well out to the outside. It's really impressive how they get it to Narkle now. Chopped the mark, but had time to recover and kick inside, and so often there's a target just waiting for it. Ross was the man on this occasion. Goes inside 50, but it's a poor kick, and it'll be picked off by Williamson. 50 metres again.
Oh. Tell you what, Shannon Rusk's not going to be a very happy chappy if they lose this one. I think that's about the 5th one they've given away.
So Kai Williamson gets an easy exit and can go forward. Told Jack Lant to run out there. Dylan's going to be waiting as well. Kicks inside. Matt Johnson coming to the footy. So is Patterson. Luke Patterson takes the mark inside 50.
Oh, he's done a calf. Or that he's got cramp. One or the other. No, he might have cramp. It was Dylan Lant picking himself up out of the boundary line. Oh, he's all right. Can't say anything, but this would be a game changer. He's a fair distance out, although he gets a good purchase on the footy. So backing himself in.
Luke Patterson had an opportunity early in this 4th quarter. He missed that one, but he needs to kick this one to put the Saints back in front. Luke Patterson comes in. It's a booming kick.
Goal.
It's online, and the Saints are back in front here at Fred's Pass.
Well, I mean, that was all the work rate that was done upfield. The 50-metre penalty, as I said, Shannon Rusk's not going to be very happy with that. But they managed to get the ball out, and Patterson led strongly, took the mark, and he's a little bit lame there. But he was able to kick that goal, and I reckon he's probably kicked that the best part of 55, 60 metres. So that's exactly what they wanted from the big man. He promised so much in the early rounds, and now, in the absence of Jackson Calder, he's got some heavy lifting to do. As there seems to Saints have pushed Jack Land into the goal square too, to see if they can get some small forward work out of him as well.
What a massive moment that was from Luke Patterson. The Saints are in front against Southern Districts. Robinson out of the middle. They beat them last year in a thrilling upset, St Mary's, before the grand finalists. Another big tackle. They want it more right now, the Saints. Vallegio, well done. It was a thrilling upset during the season last year. They met in the grand final and the Crocs got the chockies, but I'll be hoping for a little bit of revenge as Vallegio goes inside 50 now. Big pack will fly, but Giddings was good enough to pick it off. And now the Crocs will get another 50-metre penalty. The umpire's just heavy on that whistle, and now the opportunity comes. It's got to be 100. It's a ton. Can you believe that?
Oh, I'm not saying anything.
An unbelievable moment. And Connor Giddings will get a gift inside 50.
He is a defender.
Goes short to Burgess.
He was also a defender.
Who is, you'd think, too far out to score. Gives it to Barnard now. Will load up. Won't make the trip. Dennis will be there. So will Flyers. No one put it down. Kick came out. Big moments now. Away go or on West. West was in front, so he's going to get first crack at it. Barry still in and under. Going under was bid made. The ball will hopefully flick out now. Braunthal, West. Bit of time and space for St Mary's to get the ball moving forward. Goes up towards Patterson and Ryan. Patterson will back himself in the foot base, but Ryan was good to get it out.
Oh, he's down.
And Ryan's down too, so the Crocs, yes, looking like they could be slower on legs. That Nightcliff game.
Bit of carnage from both sides. Jack Lance not very good here either. Ryan hasn't even got off the grass yet.
Only three on the bench for the Crocs. Away go Owers out there now. He's had tons of it, but just ran into a grand tackle and it's holding the footy. Advantage is being paid and we're going to lose a bit of control here. The umpire just let it go for too long and Braunthal was dumped in a tackle and it was a free kick to Grant, but he paid advantage and we're going to get a ball up.
Great tackle. Umpire's got control now.
21 and a half gone. Fantastic tap from Dennis into Johnston. Goes inside 50. 1-on-1 off hands. Bouncing out the back. Got to sock it away, Davies. Farah put on the pressure. Big moments.
Siren.
Big win. Siren here. What an upset at Fred's Pass. The Saints get a bit of revenge. And they win in a thriller. 8-8, 56 plays 7-3. 7-13, 55. And the Saints win by a point.
Well, what a game. What a second half from Saints and what a last quarter that we've seen here. The scoring end, we didn't really see anything happen from a goal perspective apart from the big goal from Patterson against the run of play to the southern end of the ground. But what a sensational game of footy that we've seen out of Fred's Pass here. The conditions look ordinary half an hour before the game, but after the rain stopped and there's not a breath of wind, the ball dried out and we've seen an absolutely sensational game, which was virtually all played at one end of the ground from a scoring perspective. Individual efforts from Bo Schwartz, but the man that we speak about continuously that's got 2 Nichols medals around his neck is Dylan Lant, who drove that team from what was a 17-point deficit at half-time to a 1-point lead some 45 minutes later. A sensational game. The big gun Patterson nailing that goal with about 4 minutes to go from about 60 metres out from a great piece of play. But let's not speak about the 50-metre penalty the Districts gave away that pushed the ball into that forward zone that kicked that goal. So, goal kickers, Districts, as we spoke about earlier, Bo Schwartz with 4 and Will Farah with 3. And Saints spread them around. Dylan Lant with obviously 3. West, Yaron, Patterson with that big goal. Dominic Grant and Liam Reid early on. Saints by a point. Lockie, we spoke about it earlier that we would be in for a ripping game, but you can't get much closer than that.
No, you can't. What an unbelievable game of football that we've seen out here at Fred's Pass. You said it, Paul. It was Dylan Lant that just willed his team back into this contest in that third quarter, and it was the difference in the end. The Crocs lose 2 on the bounce in season 25-26, and you can almost say that the league has been turned on its head out here at Fred's Pass. Suddenly the Saints are back into the 5, and as they just always do, the Green Machine rolls into a bit of contention as Christmas nears, and yeah, you're right, Shannon Rusker's men all of a sudden just back to the drawing board, and they're not as unbeatable as what we once thought they were.
Well, you're exactly right. And the 7 goals were kicked by 2 players today, where normally they've got a fair spread. You know, when the kicking cricket scores, everybody's getting in on the party. But today, they couldn't buy one apart from the Bo Schwartz purple patch when he nailed 3, and the front and centre that he got. And then Will Farrer, who was that standout forward for them, that just found himself in space continuously, unmanned. He kicked a couple, but he also missed a couple at the same time. But as you spoke, Lockie, is and as we all know, is that the Saints will just continue to play the same brand of footy, and they usually come up with the chocolates at the end of the day, whether it be commanding or whether it be coming from behind. And today was one of those days. Who's your best, mate?
Oh, it's hard to go past Dylan Lant. He was unbelievable. Connor West was really good too. He would have had plenty of disposals. Just quickly, 1 goal 6 in the second half for the Crocs. That is the game right there. You said it, Paul. They couldn't buy a goal to save themselves. 7 goals, 13, and inaccuracy cost them for a second week in a row. But yeah, Connor West certainly the best on for St Mary's. Dylan Lant not too far behind, and I love Josh Smithson's game. Andrew Green came into it as well.
Yeah, Josh Smith was massive, does all the heavy lifting, the underground work, and he was really good early on, which probably kept them in on it. Districts, Jed was good, but probably not as influential as probably what he has been recently. The Johnson boys were good, and Quentin Narkle, even towards the end, it was 100% efficiency, but even there towards the end, there was a drop mark and an errant kick, so you knew that the pressure was on Districts at that stage, whether it be scoreboard or whether it be forward pressure, is that they were under the pump, and that drew them into probably the best player, the most skillful player in the competition, even making mistakes. So, as you said, they've dropped 2 in a row. It's going to be interesting, as we've seen in other games. Nightcliff have taken the points over at Tiwi, and the Wanderers got up last night at Palmerston, and the Pint Waratahs game still to go. You've been watching AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live here on NT News and Community TV. The round 10 winner, St Mary's, by 1 point. Thanks for watching. Join us for the next broadcast of the Pint Waratahs game. We'll see you next week.